And we found that out with the geniuses that got the Nobel Prize. I forget their names. Scholes was one of them, and the other one. And then they started a hedge fund and got destroyed. And they started another hedge fund and got destroyed again. I mean, these guys are at the top of the academic world. It didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is you never know what things are going to do. And they are an extension of human behavior. So take all of those ratios and the waves and the charting, and you just throw them all out the window. You should be worried about more important things like silver production, gold production, silver usage, gold usage. Project how much do you think investment demand can increase, and what will be the dominant factor in the market. And in order to make a market move, the difference between production and usage is okay. But then dynamics come into the market if you get investment. And that investment is the powerful engine that gives you those higher prices. So it's a psychological and a sociological situation for the player. And the fundamentals are made up of economic and financial things, which are influenced by fiscal and monetary things. And now that I've cut out all this work for you, you'll know what I've been doing for the last 50 years. That's why when I tell people, buy this or buy that, do this or do that, I've been there, I've done it. Please listen.
And this comes back to also, I got a question in, and it's also suitable, too. We can't ever leave that equation out of the system. And this person has cash from a property sale, and he only has 5 years left on a mortgage on an investment property. He's got several houses and duplexes that are paid off, that he makes his living. His home is paid off. And he wants to know if he should buy gold instead of paying off one of the remaining mortgages.
Well, of course, without question. I mean, if we're right on gold, and gold goes to $7,000 an ounce, just to reflect the increase in inflation since 1980, when gold was $850, and inflation was 13.5%. I would think perhaps he might be able to pay that mortgage off and maybe buy another 20 or 30 houses. So the answer is an emphatic yes. Take that money, and in this market, I would go to numismatic coins that are mint, straight, and graded. And some of the shares as well, because there's good leverage there, too. We're at the stage of the market. We blow through 1,000. The game's over. 2,000 will come just like that. And you've got a coin out there selling for $2,000 right now. Bingo, it's a $7,000 coin. Or you grab a stock like the king of all the stocks right now is Agnico Eagle. And I think it's around $55 a share or something like that. Yeah, let me get it out here. $56.02. It's a $500 stock. So this is what we're talking about. And that's what we try to guide you into, the best opportunities. But if you're a widow and you're 87 years old and you want to get some gold and you don't want to take any more risk than just getting gold, buy bullion coins. It's okay. You're going to play on a one-to-one basis. And if you choose to do that, that's fine. That might be suitable for you. But if you're a 45-year-old guy, sold his house, got a pile of money, got some other real estate, you got $200,000, split it. Half in coins and half in shares. You can afford to gamble. 2 reasons. If we still have an economy, you can work for 20 or 25 years. You can afford to shoot. Like they do in the dice table in Las Vegas. All investment is gambling. And don't ever let anybody tell you it's anything but.
Hold on, folks. I know this dead air isn't fun. I
it's
got
okay.
like 3 questions, but my computer's just not
Well, wait a minute. You go right ahead, and I'll be right back.
Where are you going? Well,
I'm going to have my marijuana cigarette.
For pain, right?
I'm one of the guys that's never even smoked one. They smell awful. I saw other people do that.
Oh, but you've never inhaled, right?
I don't smoke. I haven't smoked ever.
With the hyperinflation coming up, what do you think of adding oil to gold and silver investments?
No, I think there's a cap on it. Because we're in a depression. It can't go very far unless there's a war. And so we don't know when the war is going to come. But it is going to come. But, we're in a bull market in gold and silver. Why go traipsing off someplace else hoping you're right? Keep it simple, stupid. That's what they tell you in the insurance industry and selling. Keep it simple. And the simple thing to do is get your gold and silver investments. If you can continue to buy, you buy every week or every month. I do. So that's what you should be doing, too. And on the weekends, you can open your safe up and you can run your fingers through the bullion coins.
Bob, that's the way I put together when people, want my recommendations on what to purchase. I keep it basic, simple. We build the foundation first, and the more you put into it, the more you can add to your various types of coins, but keeping it simple, basic, logical, and every one of our customers is doing just fantastic. So, it's when you get into, when you think you're getting something, and because there's so much misrepresentation out there, when you're paying, like $10 for a 50-cent piece when you should only be paying, $5 for it, that's when you run into trouble, and that's when it takes forever. So, and you get into these other complicated and gold and silver investments, that's when you get into trouble. The IMF is planning to sell its gold or raise money by selling bonds. Could you please explain this to us?
Well, first of all, they don't have any gold. Second of all, the gold that they say they have is commitments from nations. Now, about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, Japan lent them $100 billion. And then a week later, the U.S. lent them another $100 billion. The Europeans wanted the Japanese and the U.S. to put up $500 billion so they wouldn't have to put up anything. Now, let me tell you what happened the last 2 times the government or the IMF sold gold. The gold went down about 5%, maybe 8% each time. And when the sale was over, and all of the gold was bought by the Rothschilds and people like that to go into their coffers, so to speak. And immediately after the sale, gold went crazy. So it's not something that has a lasting effect upon market. And I would bet you if they were to sell, say, 100 tons, China would be standing there with dollars in both fists saying, thank you very much. And they've never bought enough gold. They were dumb in that, and they should have known better. Wen Jiabao, the new prime minister, is a gold nut. His early training and his first jobs was as a gold geologist. So I can assure you there'll be a lot of pressure from him for the Chinese finance division to be buying gold. So it's a non-event. Don't worry about it. What you worry about is being able to get coins and bars. It's not easy, and it's going to get worse, and the premiums are going higher.
They've been trying to, that rumor of them selling gold has been going around for a year and a half now.
longer than that.
Yeah. The Russians and the Asians are introducing to use a basket of currencies. If they are successful to convince the West, how will it affect gold and silver?
It'll make them go up, of course. Russia's been a buyer of gold, aggressive. And I don't think, first of all, at the G20 meeting, you're going to find out, and that's after the first of the month, it's 2 weeks away, you're going to find out that